It is not who you are that's holding you back. It is the illusions of who you think you're not. This is Hansen, and I'm here to help you shatter those illusions and live the life of your dreams.
Hi, this is Anders here, and welcome to Insights to Impossible. This week I decided to do a video around how impossible goals are actually created. You do want to stick around for this. It is absolutely invaluable information that you can apply in any area of your life right away. So today we're talking about how to take a concept from no thing and turn it into something. When Bob Proctor and I sat down and talked for the very first time, he asked me a question that no other person had asked me in 20 years. He asked, Anders, how do you create an illusion? And I shared with him that for me to do that, I have to go to a place in my mind where I think of something that is utterly impossible, and then I work my way backwards. That is the best way I could describe it back then. But after having studied with Bob now for a long time, I've come to some insights and some conclusions around this that I really think will benefit you today. So first we're going to dig into a concept here by Neville Goddard. He said, determined imagination, thinking from the end, is the beginning of all miracles. Determined imagination. Let's dig a little deeper into that. What does that mean? That means you have an imagination, a creative faculty that you can use to build anything you want. Determined imagination, meaning that you are holding on to the image, determined to keep internalizing. That means you're using your will, which is another higher faculty of yours, to hold on to the image. Determined imagination, thinking from the end, is the beginning of all miracles. In other words, we don't think of it, we think from it. And that's a big difference, all right? He goes on to say that the future must become the present in the imagination of the one who would wisely and consciously create circumstances. We must translate vision into being, thinking of, into thinking from. So any idea that you can think of has a corresponding frequency to it. Everything in this universe functions on frequencies. So we don't actually live in a universe. We live in a multiverse where infinite realities coexist simultaneously for you until you choose. I know this is going to be a simple illustration, but it's nonetheless the same principle. How do you think of something that's impossible? For a while I thought it would be impossible just to show some paper napkin or some paper bills, and then by the snap of my fingers turn them into something with a lot more meaning to it. Thinking from instead of thinking of. How could I create that? Well, somebody had to think from that result before it could come into being. So what really happens when you think from and not of, you are thinking and you're feeling and you're acting like the person who already achieved it. You're putting yourself in that state, all right? That takes some homework, takes some priming, some maybe gratitude journaling and other exercises that you can do to really stay emotionally involved. But when you do that, you're now moving on to a different frequency. Let's face it, the thinking that took you here will never take you there. That just won't happen. The level of thinking that you have now will never produce the outcome that you seek. Never. So that's what we mean. We gotta think from the frequency. And how do we do that? We make a decision to do that, to get emotionally involved in that outcome, and you actually shut off the input coming from the senses. Because from the frequency, that is where you're going to get the insights, the ideas, the inspiration. What does inspiration mean? In spirit, meaning in tune with the essence of who you are. When you're inspired, you are actually more you than in any other time. So this is important stuff. So what are you committed to creating this week? How are you going to use this concept, thinking from instead of thinking of? Because when you think of something, you see it as outside of yourself, as something in the future. Well, guess what? When the future arrives, it arrives as the present moment. This is all we have. And the universe loves speed. So let's start thinking from the end, because that is truly the beginning of all miracles. Let me know below here what you're committed to thinking from this week. And one thing you could do to really stay involved in this amazing information and create an opportunity for you and I to spend more time together is to join our closed Facebook group. It's usually closed for people who are not in our programs, but we're making an exception this week for you. So you can actually apply for membership right here underneath, and we will make sure to approve you, because we have some really great prizes, drawings, interactive things that you can participate in coming up. Some awesome, really great surprises that you're gonna love. So do yourself that favor and become part of our community right away on Facebook. And another thing you could do to stay involved is to join us at Real Magic Live, which is an experience that brings entertainment and personal growth together around magic. Magic makes the medicine taste better. I know you know people in your life that when you say personal development, they sort of scoff. Yeah, that's not for me. But when you say that we're using magic to bring all these concepts to life and someone's goal becomes reality live on stage, when you mention that to them, the magic makes the medicine taste better. And I guarantee you they will be on board with joining you at Real Magic Live here in Miami at the end of October, or in Denmark next year. In fact, we have an array of events lined up next year, but the first one is going to be in Kolding, Denmark, and you can still secure your early bird specials for that. So this week, I really hope that you're going to think from your goal. Live from that state. Shut down the input coming from the senses. Don't look at what's going on outside. Create the image from within. Live from your imagination instead. You've been given one. Let's start using it properly. It's not who you are that holds you back from anything you want in life. You already have everything that it takes within you to create whatever it is that you desire. But your biggest challenge and my biggest challenge are the illusions standing in the way, such as what we do think is reality. What we experience through our senses, that is not where things are. That is where things end up as a result of a thought held in consciousness at a certain point in time. So you and I can go the other way. We can start living from the inside out. And that is what we're here to do. So it's not who you are that holds you back from anything you want in life. It's all the illusions of who you think you are not. Click below, join the Facebook community, join us at Real Magic Live, and I'll see you next week in Insights to Impossible. This is Hansen. Thank you.
I really hope that you took a lot of valuable insight away from this video today. And to make sure you stay updated in terms of everything Real Magic World, including programs and live events, make sure that you enable your notifications and most importantly, subscribe to this channel so that you will be the first to know.